Hello everyone, welcome to the Makri Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with the same module, that is business skills for e-commerce, and the same chapter, that is chapter number 5, that is e-payment systems or e-payment methods. This chapter is based on the payment procedures or payment modes which are done or which have been done automatically online. That is, whatever the modes we are choosing for payment that is done online, that is electronically, that is known as the e-payment. This chapter is based on the e-payment system. What are the criteria, what are the protocols used in the e-payment system. Our last class was on Friday. I was not able to take the class on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday due to some my personal reasons. So let's continue after that Friday session, that is the last week session. So let's continue with the previous class, that is the Friday's class session, and then move to the today's session, that is what are the security requirements involved in the e-payment system. So in the Friday's class we have discussed with the email protocol. So this is the topic that we have discussed in the last class. So let's take a quick review. So in the last class we have taken the topic, that is the e-payments and the protocols. That is, what is the electronic payment and what are the protocols used in the e-payments. This is, there are so many protocols that are currently employed to allow money to change hands in cyberspace. So there are so many protocols that is used to change the money, to exchange the money among the individuals, among the individuals and among the different parties. So we have discussed about there are so many protocols that is available, that is used for the printing purpose, that is used for the day-to-day scenarios, that allows or that are currently employed to allow money to change hands in the cyber space. But the most common open protocol that are used for the e-payment, that is used for the payment on the web, that is the e-payment, are SSL, TLS, SET, IOTP. So these are the most common protocols or most important protocol that is used with the e-payment system. What are the protocols? That is SSL, TLS, SAT, and the IOTP. So in the last class we have discussed, or we have focused on this protocol, that is the SSL and SET and then IOTP. So first is SSL and TLS. SSL full form is Secure Socket Layer. This protocol was designed by the Netscape as a method for client-server communication over the internet. So this is used as a method for the server or for secure client-server communication over the internet. Using public key cryptography and certificate, SSL offers a mechanism so that clients and server can authenticate each other. So using the public key cryptography, we are using the SSL, that is used as a mechanism so that clients and server can communicate each other and then engage in secure communication. So with the help of SSL, there is a secure communication among the client and the server. Client requests for the services to the from the server in a secure mode. In the same way, server provides the services to the client in a secure mode. Right. So during an initial handshaking phase, that is the first phase, the client and server select a secret key crypto scheme. As I told you in the cryptography, there is a secure key, there is a unique key that is shared by both the client and the server, so that they communicate with each other with the help of the protocols, with the help of the server certificates. This is the diagram that we have discussed in the last class. That is, there is a client, there is a server. Client is using the URL of the form, that is https:// and server is listening on the port 443. Client sends a hello to the server, server hello certificate, server key exchange, certificate request, server hello done. Then certificate is going to the client key exchange, that is used for the client key exchange, verification, change the cyber key, then finish. Then change the cyber key, finish, then application data, that is the application data of client is shared with the application data of the server. it is an intermediate protocol layer that is lies or that sits between the TCP and the layer application. So it lies between the TCP and the first layer, that is the application layer. SSL is used with the many protocol like TCP, that is a transmission control protocol, HTTP, FTP, Telnet, email protocols like SMTP and POP3, Internet Message Access Protocol. So this SSL includes so many protocols like email protocols like HTTP, like TCP, FTP, and so many protocol that is used for the emailing. At its heart, SSL TLS is not a payment protocol at all. SSL goal is to provide a secure connection between two parties. So main role of SSL is to provide a secure connection between two parties so that two parties can communicate with each other in a secure method. Then we have discussed that how secure communication is accomplished in the SSL by using the SKC, that is a secret key cryptography. So there is a secret key that is shared by both the client and the server. And to ensure the privacy and the public key cryptography for key exchange and authentication. So two secure protocols are used, secure connections are used. One is known as PKC, that is a public key cryptography. One is SKC, that is a secure key cryptography. Then we have discussed about the TLS, that continues the evolution started by the SSL. That is, SSL is the first part and TLS is the second part. Market acceptance and user confidence in the protocol is extremely high and its use will clearly continue. It is worth noting that SSL TLS is sufficiently secure for the vast variety or majority of customers. That is, both the SSL and TLS is very secure protocol that is used for communication or that is used for the payment over the internet. Then TLS also based on the wireless application protocol, that is a WAP, that also provides the method for the WTLS specification. Then next protocol that we have discussed, that is the most common protocol that is used for the e-payment system, is the SET, that is a secure electronic transaction. So this says, despite SSL popularity, MasterCard, Visa and several other companies developed the secure electronic transaction protocol. That is, along with the SSL, there is another protocol that is used, or most of the companies use another protocol for e-payment system, that is using the SET, that is the secure electronic transaction, that is specifically used to handle the electronic payments. First of all, its version is released in the 1997, then it is moved to the next part, but nowadays SET becomes one of the important protocols so that our payment method, so that our payment procedure is secure and it cannot be hacked by the unauthorized persons. SET approach to cryptography is similar to the SSL. That is, whatever the cryptography method SET is using, whatever the approach the SET is using, the SSL is using for cryptography is same as we done in the SSL and the SET. So both cryptography methods are same in both the protocols, like SSL and the SET. And this SET is also used for the digital signature, digital certificate, that is used for the key exchange for the digital signatures. One of the main difference is between the SSL is in scope. SSL has several components which helps to communicate securely on an end-to-end basis. End-to-end basis means from client to server across the internet. In the same way, SSL is essentially point-to-point between buyer and the seller and makes no provision for involving financial institution. So there is no financial institution in between the client and the server, in between the buyer and the seller. Then we have discussed about these paragraphs, that what is the use of the SCT that provides the security mechanism. This is the diagram. First of all, there is the order information, that what kind of order, what is the quality, what is the code name, what is the tag name. Then there is a dual signature, then encrypted W public key, that is a PG. Then there is a secret key that communicate or that is used as a key that you use to communicate between the buyer and the seller. Then account information. Then there is payment instructions, dual signature, then cardholder certificate. So these are the various set purchase requests that is occupied by the secure electronic transaction. Next protocol that we have discussed is the IOTP, that is the Internet Open Trading Protocol. So SET and the SSL both provide the secure communication or both provide the secure payment procedures over the internet. In the same way, whenever we use the IOTP, that is Internet Open Trading Protocol, that also provides an interoperable framework for consumer to business internet-based electronic commerce. So whenever we do the commerce over the internet or whenever we do the e-commerce, that is the electronic commerce, that is the trading of goods and services, then there is a protocol that is used, that is that IOTP, that provides interoperability for consumer to business inter-based e-commerce. So whenever we do the e-commerce, that is the electronic commerce, that is the buying and selling of goods and services over the internet, so IOTP is one of the best protocol that makes the transaction effective and the efficient. The designers of the IOTP also uses the financial institution, that is the internet connection, and that is used as the EDI, that is the electronic data interchange. And this is the diagram that shows how this will be used. There is a consumer, then there is a selection and offer step, then payment step, then delivery step. So first step is selection and offer step, then there is a payment step, that is a payment is made, then there is a delivery step, that is delivery is made for the transactions. So this says the flow of IOTP messages clearly indicates that the protocol can support the entire shopping process and all parties to buying, selling, paying and delivering the products and goods. The selection and offer step is a particular good example of mapping e-commerce to real space. In this step, the user selects among payment mechanism the way they might in a real store. So this is the selection procedure, means what type of payment option that you use. Either you use the debit card, either you use the credit card, either you use the internet banking. What type of mode of payment that you like for payment or for e-payments. Then there is a payment step, that means how the payment is made. Then delivery step, that is how the message is or how the packet is delivered to the customer. Note that also that the IOTP procedures can be employed by the customer for communication with the merchant. Clearly, cryptography is an important part of security that is associated with the IOTP. So internet or cryptography is one of the important part that is used with the IOTP. It also includes the secret key, public key and the types of crypto schemes. That includes a transaction type, digital certificates that is used or no. And this is one of the important line, that usage of the XML, that is the extensible markup language, as a data representation language provides flexibility, extensibility and facilitates the development of broad range of IOTP. So in IOTP there is one more protocol, there is one more method, there is one more language that is used as a XML, that is the extensible markup language, that provides the flexibility and the extensibility and facilitates the development of a broad range of IOTP aware applications. So that is used with the IOTP, that is the extensible markup language. Now comes to this topic, that is a today's topic, that is security requirements in e-commerce. That is, what are the security requirements in the e-commerce? Now let's start. As the name advice, what are the security requirements? That is, what are the security methods that is used with the that is used in the e-payment system. So whenever I do the payment on the internet, or whenever I take the payment step over the internet, so what type of security requirements, what type of security measures, preventions is used for e-commerce or for e-payment systems. This says the concrete security requirements of e-payment system vary depending both on their features and trust assumptions placed on their operation. So one of the security requirement or the concrete security requirement of e-payment system. So what is the requirement or what is the main requirement for the e-commerce system? It vary from the transaction to transaction depending upon the feature and the trust application or assumption placed on that operation or placed on their operation. In general, however, e-payment system must exhibit, that is, it must involve integrity, authentication, confidentiality, availability, and reliability. So these are the 5 main security requirements in the e-payments. One is the authorization, one is the authentication, one is the confidentiality, one is the integrity, one is the availability, one is the reliability. Now let's start with one by one. First of all, there are two terms, there are two security requirements. One is integrity and authorization. This is a payment system with integrity allows no money to be taken from a user without explicit authorization by that user. So there is a particular security amount around the money that allows no one to take the money until and unless the user provides the authorization for the user. So unless and until user does not provide the authorization, no one can allows or no one allows to take the money from the user. So this is a payment system or a payment system that allows or that provides the integrity that allows no money to be taken from a user without explicit authorization by that user. It may also disallow the receipt of payment without explicit consent to prevent occurrence of things like unsolicited bribery. Authentication constitutes a major important or most important relationship in a payment system. That is, authorization also provides a good relationship, also provides a good amount of percentage of material in a payment system. Payment can be authorized in 3 ways. So there are three authorization procedures that is used with the e-payment. So what are the 3 ways? One is the outbound or outband authorization, one is the passwords, one is the signature. So there are 3 ways for the payment procedures in which the payment procedure is done. One is the outbound or outband authorization. So there is the outband authorization that is used. Then there is a password, that is a password security. Then there is a signature, that is also known as a digital signature. So let's start with the 3 authorization steps that is used. So first is outbound authorization. In this approach, the verified party, typically a bank, notifies the authorizing party, that is the payer of a transaction. So this is the outbound authorization. So there is a direct communication among the buyer and the seller. That is the verifying party is a bank and the customer is the authorization party. The authorizing party is required to approve or deny the payment using a secure outbound channel. Now this is the authorization party. Whether to do the whether to continue with the relationship with the amount is required to approve or deny the payment using a secure method. There is no hodgepodge. There is no nothing that is using as a personal. So everything is professional, that is the outbound channel, that is via surface mail or the phone. This is in current approach for credit cards involving mail orders and telephone orders. So this is the main important approach, this is the main important step that is used with the tradition, that is used with the nowadays also, that is used whenever we use a credit card numbers. Anyone who knows a user's credit card data can initiate the transaction, and the legitimate users must check the statement and actively complain about unauthorized transactions. So this is one of the example that if the connection of the light is or if the connection of the data is not too large, or it checks the transactions and actively complain for the unauthorized transactions. Now, if the user does not complete within a certain time, that is, if the user does not complain about it is fraud, usually the 19th date, the transaction is considered approved by default. Now, next is password authorization. So these are the security requirement, these are the authorization requirement, that what is the main difference between the requirements of the e-authorization, so that it is used as a payment procedure. Now the next is password authorization. In this the password is already set. Now you can change the password, you can authenticate the password. So next one is password authentication. This is a transaction protected by a password requires that every message from the authorizing party includes a cryptographic check value. So a transaction that is protected by a password. So a transaction in which the password is has been built, that also requires that every message from the authorizing uh, party involves or includes a cryptographic check value. So any transaction that is used or that is preceded by a password requires that every message from the authorizing party, that is, if I'm the using the authorized password of the authorization. So I want that my buyer, if I'm a seller, my buyer also sends out the secret key that is only related with the authorizing party, that is a person who sits, and the third party, that is any party. This secure connection can be a personal identification number, password, or any other form of design secret. In addition, shared secrets that are short, like a 6-digit PIN, are inherently susceptible to various kinds of attacks. They cannot be password themselves provide a high degree or high degree of security. They should only be used to control the access to a physical token like a smart card or a wallet that performs the actual authorization using a secure cryptographic mechanism such as digital signature. So there must be a password authorization, there must be a password capability so that the password can be used for the authorization purpose. So this is password authorization. That is, a authorization is made with the help of a password. That is, we can make the authorization, we can make the transaction authorized by using a password. And the condition is that the password must be strong by fulfilling all the criteria, all the conditions that is used for a strong password. So this is a transaction is protected by a password requires that every message from the authorizing party includes a cryptographic check value. The check value is computed using a secret key known to the only to the authorizing and verifying party. So it is checked by the secret key that is known as the cryptographic check value. And this check value is computed is used using a secret key that is known only to the authorizing and the verifying parties. This secret key can be a personal identification number, it may be a password, or it may be any form of shared secret that is used as an addition, that is used as a password authorization authentication, that is used for the transaction to be secure. In addition, the shared secrets that are short like a 6-digit PIN are inherently susceptible to various kinds of attacks. They cannot be themselves provide high degree of security. So this password authorization must perform the secure cryptographic mechanism or must include a secure cryptographic mechanisms, for example, digital signature. Then, so these are the various kinds of authorizations. One is the outbound authorization, that is verifying the with the bank. Then password authorization, that is verifying with the help of the password. Then signature authorization, that is authorize a person, that is the authorization is made by using a digital signature, by using a signature. So this said in this type of transaction, the verifying party requires a digital signature of the authorizing party, that is the verifying party who verifies the transaction, whether the transaction is authorized or not, requires a digital signature. So that authorization party, that person, that the consent committee requires a digital signature of the authorizing party. Digital signature also provides non-repudiation of origin, that is digital signature also notifies or also check out that there is no duplicacy, that is a non-repudiation of the origin. Only the owner of the secret signing key can sign the messages. That is only the owner that is using the or that is authorized person. Only the authorized person is using the or sign the messages or signing the keys that sign the messages, whereas everybody who knows the corresponding public verification key can verify the authenticity of signatures. So these are the three types of authorization that is used as a authorization method, so that we can check out whether the person who is using my transaction, who is doing the transaction over the internet, who is making the payment over the internet, is the authorized person or not. So that is the authorization method. So this also includes the one of the main method that is used in the e-payment system, and we have studied three types of authorization. One is the password authorization, one is the on outbound or outbound authorization, one is the signature authorization. Now the second one is, so first of all, my topic is the security requirements. We are finished with the integrity, we are finished with the authorization. Now the next concern is confidentiality. So that is the third concern, or this is the third concern, that is the confidentiality. As the name advises, confidentiality, that the transaction is confident or confident. That is, no one can check out the transactions without permission of the owner. So this says some parties may wish or involved may wish confidentiality of transactions. Confidentiality in this context means the restriction of the knowledge about various pieces of information related to the transaction. So confidentiality includes the restriction of the knowledge, or restriction about the knowledge, or restriction of the transaction that is made about various pieces of information that is related to a transaction. That is a confidentiality. That is the information that is very relevant or that is very important to the transaction is secure, confident, so that no other person except the owner can check out the transaction or can choose the transactions. The identity of the payer pay. So uh, what are the very confident information about the transaction? The identity of payer pay, that is what type of identity, whether they are using the ID proof, whether they are using the license, what kind of identity of the payer and the pay. Then purchase content, what is the content of the, or what is the main content of the transaction. Then amount, what is the amount? If it is a high amount, it is so risky. If it is of less amount, then low risky, and so on. So these are the various few types of information that is must be kept confidence or confidentiality, so that the transaction cannot or information cannot be lost to the participants. Where anonymity or untraceability are desired, the requirement may be to limit this knowledge to certain subsets of the participants only, as described later. So this is the information, that is the confidentiality is the one of the security requirements, one of the security measures that is used to secure the transaction, so that the information is secure about any information that is very relevant information about the transaction is secure or confident or confidentiality. Then next is availability and reliability. This is also the security requirement that is used with the e-payment system. So next is availability. As the name advises, availability. That is, the information is available only to the concerned person. This says all parties requires the ability to make or receive payments whenever necessary. Payment transaction must be automatic. They occur entirely or not at all. So this says all parties requires the ability to make or receive payments whenever necessary. So every party or all the parties that is involved with the transactions requires the ability to make or receive the payment whenever it is necessary. Payment transactions must be atomic. So whatever the payment transaction, that must be atomic. They occur entirely or not at all, but they never hang on or never hang in an unknown or inconsistent state. No payer would accept a loss of money. That is, no payer would accept a loss of money, not a significant amount in any case, due to network or system crash. Availability and reliability presumes that the underlying network services and all hardware and software components are sufficiently dependable. So this availability and the reliability also provides a guarantee method, or also provides a method for the guaranteed to presume that the underlying network services, that is what are the network services, that is the underlying network services, and the hardware and the software components are sufficiently dependable, are sufficiently required for the atomic transaction, that is the availability and reliability. Recovery from crash failures requires some sort of stable storage at all parties and specific resynchronization protocols. So whenever there is any loss of data, so we can recover from the crash failures, that also requires some sort of storage or stable storage at all the parties and specific synchronization protocols. These faults tolerance issues are not discussed here. So this is not discussed that what are the requirement, or what are the recovery requirement, what are the recovery payment procedure that is used with the e-payments, because most payment systems do not address them explicitly. So these are the various security requirement that is used with the e-payment system. I am repeating again, there are generally 3 to 4 types of security requirements. One is the integrity, then availability. That is, the availability means, or integrity means, first of all integrate the information, that is combines the information. Then availability means check out the sorry sorry uh, identification and authorization, that is identity and authorization, that is there must be identity, or there must be a identify information, that is this one. This is integrity and authorization. That is the first requirement, that the transactions information must be integrate with each other, and that must be authorized. And there are 3 types of authorization what we have covered. One is the outbound authorization, one is the signature authorization, one is the password authorization. In outbound, there is a verifying party, that is the bank verifies that the customer is reliable or not. In password authorization, the authorization is made via password. In signature authorization, the authorization is made via digital signature. So these are the 3 types of authorization methods that is used with the that also makes the authorization, that also makes the security requirements. Then next is confidentiality. So one is integrity authorization, next is confidentiality, that is the information must be confident among the different parties. Then availability and reliability, that is availability, that is the information is available or not, and the information is reliable or not. That is the information is available to the concerned persons, that is also security requirement. And reliability, so whatever the information, we can rely on the information that is given by the user. Now the next is e-payments and consumer empowerment, that is the next topic. So this is just a theoretical topic, that is what are the e-payment procedures and what are the consumer empowerment, how the e-payment empowers the consumer in different ways. So what are the different modes that is used with the e-payment procedures. So this says electronic payment empowers the consumer in several fundamental ways that check and cash and check does not use them. That is, e-payment empowers the consumer, that is it empowers the consumers in several fundamental ways that check and cash does not do so. So everything possible with the use of the e-payment, with the use of electronic payment. So that empowers the consumer, that provides the consumer with different facilities that does not provide the facility by the check and the cash. One of the clearest ways is the security, that disputes resolution. So this also provides a resolution facility. This also disputes the resolution facility, that offering consumers a form of insurance against purchasing of faulty goods or services. so that are not delivered or lower in quality than expected. So this is one of the clearest way of the security, that there must be a dispute resolution provides. Though there is a wrong resolution provides, for example, the resolution provides about the sales service. That is also very weak, or that is also not secure, that is also a faulty resolution or the fake resolution that offers consumers a form of insurance against purchases of faulty goods or services. This is one of the example of the dispute resolution, that is the example is one company offers a form of insurance against purchases of faulty goods or services that are not delivered or lower in the quality. That is not delivered at the or the quality is not at the expected time, or quality is not that is expected by the user. Insurance against lost, stolen, or otherwise unauthorized use allows consumers to quickly shield themselves from reliability at zero cost in some market, unlike lost cash or checks. E-payment also provides the ability to control the payment for goods and services over time. So this is also the facility of e-payment that also provides to control the payment. Controlling of the payment means make the payments allowed whenever it is necessary. So this makes the payment control for the goods and services over time by allowing the buyers to pay now, pay later, or repay. So this also provides a flexibility in one term, that the buyer, if needs, that he or she must be paid late at a later state. That is also one of the criteria. And if he or she wants to repay the procedure, pay the payment, that is also one of the criteria. Credit cards also provides liquidity through pre-approved credit availability, something that transaction-specific loans cannot do. This works favorably for consumers, merchants, and banks because the process facilitates current period sales while minimizing the cost of obtaining credit. Debit cards also offers convenient and immediate access to funds on a deposit. Globally branded electronic payment have the ubiquitous and interoperable features that lends themselves to immediate acceptability by consumers and businesses. Despite the value that consumers place on electronic payment and benefits that extends to economies from the underlying system, concerns are sometimes raised about abuse of credit and exposure of consumer wealth. So this is just example that how the consumer empowerment is used, or how consumers involved with the e-payment system and how it will be beneficial for the consumer. So this paragraph is just an example of each and every field. However, with the application of an objective analysis, quite a different picture emerges. An in-depth study of consumer behavior in Australia provides some insights into the level and sophistication of payment usage, and clearly shows that consumers have a high level of understanding of payment and responsibility manage revolving credit. Now, the next is, what are the desirable properties of digital currency? So whenever I say the e-payment system, that is the payment is made online. So the payment is made in digital way. So what are the digital currency methods, or what are the properties that, or what are the, if I say that, yeah, this is the property of a digital signature. So what are the properties of a digital signature? That is the next topic. So let's take a break first of all, then move to this topic, that is the desirable properties of digital signature. So let's take a break first of all. So come back from the break. Now let's start the session again. The next topic is, what are the desirable properties of digital signature or digital currency? So what are the properties that digital currency must ensure, that these are the properties that is taken care of the digital currency. Developers of digital currency have a wide range of options to implement strong safety requirements of transmitting values over the network. So whenever anyone transfers the payment over the network, so that must be safe and that must be secure. This is the developer who develops the digital currency, who develops the e-payment over the network, that have a wide range of options. So there are so many options that is used to implement strong safety requirements of transmitting values over the network. For example, a secure digital currency can be implemented by using strong encryption algorithms. So this is one of the example that a secure digital currency that can be implemented using by or implementing by using strong encryption algorithms by employing tamper resistant hardware or by securing the network communication. So this is one of the example that if I want a secure digital currency that can be transmitted or that can be used or that can be implemented by using a strong encryption algorithm. So that also includes or one of the method is to ensure or is to use a strong encryption algorithms by employing tamper resistant hardware or by securing the network communication. So these are the various methods by which a secure digital currency can be implemented, either using a strong encryption algorithm, employing the tamper resistant hardware, or by securing the network communication. Although physical specifications of digital coins and tokens may vary, the following properties are fundamental to any digital currency payment system. These are the properties, these are the various fundamental properties that must be taken care of, that must be taken care of while doing the digital currency or payment system. So whenever anyone can make the payment online, that is a e-payment system, these are the fundamental properties that must be carried out in a digital currency. Now, what are the properties or what are the fundamental properties that is used? First is the monetary value. That is the monetary value means what is the money value. To be used as a monetary unit, digital currency must have value that can be exchanged for other goods and services. So to it is so while used as a or while to be used as a monetary unit. So while used as a monetary unit, digital currency must have value that can be exchanged for other goods and services. So this contains or this must contains the value. It is nothing that any no one monetary transaction contains the value and we make the transactions day by day. No, that is not the case. But digital currency must have been exchanged for other goods and services to be used or be used to pay fiduciary obligations and can be transferred or be transferred to another person. Some digital currency is essentially a file. So since a digital currency is a file, it does not have a intrinsic value but must be linked to other system of value. So this is essentially a file that is a that contains some records. So this is a file that does not contains any intrinsic value but must be linked or must be linked to other system of value. The most common implementation is to base the value of digital currency on bank deposits, credits, or prepayments using outside money. So these are the most common implementation that will be used on the basis of digital currency on bank deposits, credits, or prepayment using outside money. Once a digital currency is convertible into dollars, the next step is for to be accepted in the market as a monetary token. So first of one of the step is to convert into a dollars. It must be converted into a dollar. So once it is converted into dollar, the next step is to be accepted in the market as a monetary token. Once accepted and trusted, a digital signature or digital currency can establish related properties such as exchangeability and transferability. So once it is accepted and once it is trusted that everyone trusts on a digital value, monetary value, so a digital currency can establish a relationship or related properties such as exchangeability or exchangeability and transferability. So we can exchange the value, we can transfer the value from one part to the another part. The next property or the next property that is used with the e-payment system, that is used with the digital currency, is the next one is convenience, that it must be convenient to make the payment to another persons. So convenience has the biggest factor in the growth of national currencies such as checks, which are scalable and easy to transport. So convenience is one of the important factors that must be take care of or that must be take care of while doing the transactions over the internet. So this is convenience as one of the biggest factor in the growth of notational currencies such as checks, which are scalable and easy to transport. Similarly, digital currencies must be convenient to use, store, access, and transport. So just like a check as an Indian system, we can port the check from one place to another place to another. So we can carry the checks from a place to place. In the same way, digital currency must be converted into to use, store, access, and transport. As a digital file, so digital currency is used as a file. It may be allow remote access to money via telephone. This is also occupied, or this is also used as a remote access that is used via telephone, modem, or internet connection. So that can also be used via modem, via internet connection, via transfer devices. Electronic storage and transfer devices or network capabilities will be needed. To gain wide acceptance, digital cash can also must be convenient in terms of scalability and interoperability. So to gain the wide acceptance, so that it can be widely accepted by the user, digital cash must also be convenient in terms of scalability and interoperability. So it must be scalable, that we can scale the value of the monetary transactions, and interoperability. So it can operate in a easiest way, that is the interoperability, so that users need not carry multiple denominations or multiple versions for each operating system. One operating system contain multiple versions, multiple methods for the digital signatures. Then the next is security. So this is the third one, that is the next property that is used with the digital currency, is the security. That must be secure, that the payment or the digital currency must be secure, that the payment that is doing the transaction must be secure, that is the security. To secure physical money and coins, one needs to store them in wallets, safes, or other private places. So whenever I want to save the money, so I can kept in the wallets, I can kept in the purse, I can kept in the safes and other private places. If digital currencies are stored in hard drives connected to an open network, theoretically anybody can snoop and tamper with the money. So if I said that I want to keep the digital currency or digital money, that is e-payment, in hard drives. So if I want to store in hard drives, hard disk, that is also connected to an open network, that is a network that is used by any person. So theoretically anybody or anyone who is using the network can snoop or can hack the systems, can hack the money, so that it can be unauthorized, but it can be used in an unauthorized way. Encryption is the one of the method to protect digital currency against tampering. So the next method that is used is the encryption, that is used to protect the digital currency against the tampering, that is used to tamper or the persons who is tampering the network. So as I said, what is the encryption? That means changing the form of a money or changing the form of a transaction. Some proposals using smart cards, example Mondex, store digital currency in temper resistant hardware that can be maintained offline. eCash relies on the security of each client software residing on the user's computer. At the same time, digital currency must be resistant to accident by owners. Rupee bills are printed on stone paper that withstands many adverse treatments such as washing. To achieve similar security with the digital currency, adequate protection standards are needed both in the physical specification of digital coins and in policy matters for legal and commercial liability. So if I want that there must be a security among the digital currency, so that is using the physical specification, so that is usage or that needs for the digital currency for the physical specification of digital coins and in policy matters for legal and commercial liabilities. Next is authentication. So one is security, one is convenience, one is a monetary value. Next is authentication. authentication of money. So this is also the properties of digital currency, that the digital currency must be authenticate. So whenever I say authentication, so this is authentication of money is done by visually inspecting bills and coins. So whenever I say authentication of money is done, if I say the Indian rupees, that is done by visually inspecting the bills and the coins. So uh, if I see the bills and the coins, I want to know that this is a authenticated bill, this is authenticated coin. So no. Although further test could vary chemical analysis and contract. So these are the various methods that how I judge that the payment is authorized or not, that the coin or the note or the money that is used is authorized money or not. There are various methods like chemical analysis, contacting the authorities. Authentication is usually a simple method or method for physical currency. So if I said physical currency, for example, coins, for example, notes, paper notes. So this is a very easy for authenticate the physical currency. But if I'm talking about the digital currency, that must be difficult to authenticate the digital currency. So that cannot be visually inspected, and it is difficult to differentiate the original and a counterfeit. Counterfeit means the fraudy transaction or the fraud transaction. So it is very difficult to detect which transaction is correct and which is not correct transaction in case of the digital currency. Because of this inspection of digital currency depends on the authenticating secondary information that occupies or accompanies the bills or coins, such as the digital signature of banks or payers attached to the currency. So it is very difficult to authenticate via the digital signature or via the digital currency. So then the method that is used, that is also obtained, or that is also depend on the digital signatures of the banks or the payers that is attached to the currency. A more rigid system will require contacting a third party each time a transaction is made. So the more rigid system that also require the contacting a third party system, that is every or that is used every time a transaction is made. Although this system is more secure, the transaction cost may be too high for small value purchases. So although this system is more secure, the transaction cost that is used is also too high for small value purchases. A hardware-based systems like Mondex relies on hardware and software uh, and does not require authentication for each transfer of value. So whenever I say Mondex, these are the various systems that relies on the software and the hardware and does not require any authentication on the part of the transfer of value. Other system will have to strengthen their client software or introduce hardware protection to allow peer-to-peer transaction. That is also used for the peer-to-peer transaction that is made via electronically. So next property is non-refutability, that I am taking in the next class, that is in the Monday's class. So I am winding up today's class over here only. I've covered the security, authentication, convenience, and the monetary value, four features of or four properties of digital currency, right? So in the next class, that is in the Monday's class, I am carrying forward to the properties of the monetary value or properties of the digital currency. So that's all for today's session. Now in the next class, moving to the next part, that is the properties of digital currency, right? There are various other properties also, like non-repudiation, security, authentication. So I will be taking these next properties in the next class. So that's all for today's session. Thank you so much for listening me, and if there is any doubt about to any class, any chapter, you can clear the doubts from me at any time, either through chat, either through phone, either through email. So thanks a lot everyone. In the next class, Monday class, I will be carrying forward to the next properties of digital currency. So thanks a lot. Bye bye everyone.